You will introduce Thin Ice.
I do not want to. You will do it.
Introduce Thin Ice.
You will do it.
You will do it.
I will do it.
You will do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week on Thin Ice, OpTic, Texas. Oh, man, it pains me to do this, but we have to do this. Obviously, OpTic, Texas, they come in off the major qualifier. They're 5-0. They're the first team in CDL history to go back-to-back 5-0s in the online qualifiers, and then the event just doesn't go as planned. And don't worry, I asked Dashy, I asked Shotzi. They're cool with it.
I mean, listen, my opinion on the matter is when OpTic loses or when they win, like there's just so much talk about it. Everyone sort of just
memes it.
OpTic
haters rejoice.
They grasp for straws. They're looking for a reason, a person to blame. This one was just one of those tournaments that you literally have to forget about. They don't show up. They don't play to the potential that everyone was expecting.
Yep.
That they were expecting themselves, and everyone's trying to, find the reason. This is the reason. This is the reason.
Uh-huh.
No. Short-term memory, goldfish, you're finding Dory. This one never happened. It's hard to make sense of things that don't make sense. There is no logical reason.
It doesn't make sense because they looked incredible in the online split, and then they come to the tournament and kind of just have a tough one. Florida obviously play that spoiler that we know Florida can, and they 3-0 them. And dude, when they played Florida looked like the fucking Globetrotters. They looked insane. And then the following day, it doesn't do us any favors because Florida gets 0-6 map count to get bounced out of the tournament. So it's like, OpTic had a bad event, a very, very bad event. But the
problem is that's just not enough for people. They need reasons, but the problem is there is no reasons.
Sometimes it happens. It's not like they stopped practicing and took their foot off the pedal. Sometimes you just come out flat. Obviously,
that's competition, man.
It was back to a major with fans. They could have been a little bit rattled up on the stage for their first match, and it goes very quickly. I mean, it was...
collectively, the reality is this. They didn't look like a cohesive unit.
No.
The kills weren't falling in their favor. It was a lot of staggering.
A lot of running alone.
I think the Florida series was a bit surprising even for them because it seems like they were trying to make up slack individually where it's like things weren't going their way. Then each player obviously has superstar potential, but Florida also looked like the fucking Avengers. So it wasn't like you can just will your way individually. You had to play as a team.
And that was not happening.
It wasn't their weekend, and that is what it is. Short-term memory, they got to move forward. It's a confusing one. It's just as confusing as Thieves. I mean, when they win the tournament and then they have a terrible stage, like sometimes you're just kind of mind-fucked with what went wrong.
Yeah.
Things went wrong, and now you move forward.
Yeah, pull up that graphic again just to touch on some stats for you guys. I mean, throughout Major 5, they had a .56 team S&D KD, which is insane because their S&D looked incredible. And then they have a .68 in hardpoint, which a lot of people have been saying they're one of the best hardpoint teams in the league. And they just came out, got slammed. Happens.
That's all there is to say about it.
Got slammed, happens, but nobody remembers second. They'll remember 12th unless they win Champs.
Champs is the only tournament that people will talk about for years to come.
Yes. So hopefully the boys get their heads on right, coming to Champs. Get a little ring action.
Forget about that one.
They got to forget about it.
That one didn't happen.
If that lingers, then I'm fearful. But if they can just get over it, goldfish it, forget about it, I still have all the utmost hope in our boys to go out there and have a great showing for you guys at Champs. They play Boston. Obviously, it's a tough one for you, but Boston do not look good either. So,
yeah, I mean, to talk about the first round matchup, you have... So all the talk was who are they going to play, Boston or Rocker. The reality is OpTic should beat both. This team at their peak
People were saying that it doesn't matter. But it does matter, though. It matters.
At their peak, they are the favorites to win championships. Like we saw that going into this tournament. Granted, maybe now, maybe a little. I'm not sure how the pressure is going to be.
Really
like, is it less pressure? Is it more pressure? What do you think it is? Because in that
more
tournament,
pressure like going into Champs or just right now?
Now, based on that tournament, because like going into that major, everybody just expected them to win, and now for Champs, what do you think it's like no pressure? Like, you know what?
No.
Or do you think it's more pressure now to going into Champs?
I think there's a lot of pressure on the team. I mean, they got back-to-back seconds. People have been talking very, very highly. Then they go get 12th. They don't win a map. I mean, this team's probably feeling the pressure right now because people are saying that, these guys are amazing. They should win tournaments, all that stuff. And then if they're not getting those results, like, they'll slowly start chipping away at them. I just hope that internally in the camp, which, I mean, we have obviously insider information, as long as they stay composed, this team at their peak, we've seen what they can do, and they just gotta fix it up.
Short-term memory.
Short-term memory.
That's the way of the road. Sometimes things don't go as planned.
Talk to Ant, talk to Brandon. A lot of things obviously went on during the weekend, and they just got to screw their heads on and get back to it. And I have all the faith in the world.
Luke Cage said, always forward, never backwards.
Absolutely.
Guys, that was thin ice. That was a heartbreaker for us. But
yeah, that one's hard for us to do. I hope people understand that, but we can't be biased on the show. We got to call it how it is.
Correct.
And that's thin ice for the week.